Hi, this is Scott Gorham from Black Star Riders and Thin Lizzy. You're on BackstageAxxess.com, where the real show begins.
Gus Gressinger here from BackstageAxxess.com. We're here with legendary guitarist Scott Gorham of Black Star Riders, fresh off a trip from the land of Down Under. How you doing?
Good, good. Well, it's not really down under. I think it's up and over. It's
The rising sun, I might. Land of the trip from the land of the rising sun.
That's right,
say.
Japan. We got back day before yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's why the face looks a little messed up here, right? But no, it was good fun. We hadn't been. This is the first time Black Star Riders had been to Japan.
Right.
So really, when you go into a country like Japan and you've never been there before, you never know what to expect.
Right.
But the audiences were great. They knew the album. You could see everybody singing the song. So it was, and there were a lot of people there. So it was a successful trip. Very good.
And I believe when Thin Lizzy got back together for the first time with John Sykes, you guys actually did a Japan run, right? To kind of test the waters a little bit?
Well, no, that was the idea for that was to just do Japan.
Okay.
We were going to get together, myself, Brian Downey, John Sykes, Marco, who's still in the band, and go over there and just play 7 shows, and that was it. And at the end of that, we were going to shake hands and go, well, that was a lot of fun. See you later. But in fact, what happened? That's when the letters started coming in. People phoning into the fan club and all that, saying, "What's going on here? You guys get back together again. You go halfway across the world, and you're not going to come over and play over here. What's up with that?" So that was kind of the beginnings of putting Thin Lizzy back together again. We were never really going to put it back together as a full-time thing.
Right.
But the more we played and the more people we played to, the bigger it became, and the more people wanted us to keep doing it. So that's why we kept doing it.
Well, Scott's going to get ready to do a show here in Buffalo in a couple hours at the Ironworks, and we were talking beforehand, and the last time Thin Lizzy played Buffalo, or Scott himself, and we were trying to think when I can't remember.
Well,
it's been a while.
If it was
it's been a while.
If it was a Thin Lizzy thing, if we're going way back, it might have been with Queen.
Okay.
1979.
Yeah.
But I've got a sneaking suspicion that we've been here before then.
Snuck one in there?
Yeah. But my memory is so shot that so nobody take offense if I don't remember.
Tell us about the transformation from Thin Lizzy to Black Star Riders. Was it a little easier than you expected, or a little bit more difficult than you expected?
Well, as a matter of fact, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. When the idea first came up, people thought we were crazy. What are you doing? You've got all these sold-out tours, and now you're going to try to get this brand new thing off the ground. You're not going to have any sold-out shows with this brand new thing. But, we really wanted to get this album out. We'd written all these songs. We didn't really want to record it under the name of Thin Lizzy. I, in particular, felt uncomfortable with doing an album under the name, without Phil Lynott being there, because really everything that we had ever done as Thin Lizzy, Phil was always there, and now for him not to be there and us to record a song without him, just didn't feel right. So this it afforded us the chance to record these songs that we really loved, but we knew we had to do it under a different name. So that's when we came up with Black Star Riders.
And Ricky Warwick, who I actually saw with you guys for the first time under Thin Lizzy on the Judas Priest tour a couple years back. Fantastic frontman, great voice, fits you guys perfectly. How did you get involved with Ricky?
Well, The first time was Joe Elliott from Def Leppard.
Okay.
Called me up. Joe and I, we've known each other for just decades, and Ricky was recording his first solo album at his house.
Okay.
And Joe called me up and says, "I've got this guy up here. His music is going to fit your guitar style perfectly. Would you come over and play on just one track?" And I said, "Absolutely. What's his name?" He says, "Ricky Warwick." "Oh man, I know Ricky. I knew him, but then I didn't know him.
Right.
If you know what I mean."
Yeah,
So I flew over. Ricky and I just got on amazingly well. I did the one track they wanted me to do, and of course Ricky goes, "Well, while you're here, I've got this other track." I said, "Well, okay, and I ended up playing on about 5 tracks, and it was really a lot of fun. I got to see what Ricky was all about. How he operated, how he wrote his lyrics, what his lyrics were all about, and he so reminded me of Phil and the way Phil used to write his lyrics and the way he approached everything, the same sort of timbre in the voice and all that, the way he carried himself. So when it came time to do the Lizzy thing, and like I say, Joe reminded me of Ricky. This was just the perfect thing. Now, once again, there were so many people that thought I was nuts. What do you mean, Ricky Warwick? He's from the Almighty. He's this kind of punk kind of guy. He's really aggressive kind of deal going on there. I said, no. Really, I got this one handled. You got to be able to see this first before you do any kind of criticizing. You got to really check this out first. And when people did, it was like, okay, all right, I get it. I see what you're talking about.
He's got a hint of the voice. I don't want to say, obviously, he doesn't sound like Phil, but he's got that the taste of a little bit, where it gives you a synopsis of,
the flavor.
The flavor of the band, but yet adds his own spice to it.
That's
which
right.
is perfect.
And we talked about that a lot. I know that anybody that was going to step into that spot, they were going to be nervous about it, and rightly so.
Right.
But we talked, and I said, Ricky, I want you in the band because of you. Now I don't want somebody in there just to clone Phil.
Right.
That kind of defeats the purpose of the whole thing. So, and then from there it just kind of carried on. So, I'm extremely happy that with what's going on right now with Ricky and everybody in the band.
And a new CD, All Hell Breaks Loose, was released about a year ago around this time. And tell us about the recording process of how everybody came in and the writing process of recording. Who brought the tracks, the music? How did it all work out?
Well, when it was finally decided, I finally gave the green light. All right, we need to record a new album. We need to start writing music because it literally was, every interview you did, it was the top 3 questions. When are you going to write new material? When are you going to record a new album? And as soon as I gave the green lights, Ricky and Damon said, "Well, there's 3 songs right now." Really? You've been writing already? So the writing process, began before that with the 2 guys. But, now we're on the road. We live in different parts of the world, so the only place we can actually do any really concentrated bits of writing is on the road. So it was hotel rooms, back of the bus, dressing rooms, just recording on iPads and all that, the ideas. But so when it came down to actually doing the album, we got Kevin Shirley in, producer, and I don't think that we were quite ready for the way Kevin goes about his recording process. Really, I mean, I'm really kind of used to, you get in the studio, and you get kind of comfortable in there, and you take a couple of weeks, whatever, do your basic tracks, and then you kind of go into your mixing process, few overdubs, blah blah blah. It's not the way with Kevin. It's you got 12 tracks, we're doing this sucker in 12 days, and I think it was a huge shock to everybody's system, right? That we were going to get it done this quickly. But the saving grace was we'd been on the road for about 3 years. So really what we did is we just took our live setup, just bolted it down in the studio. Jimmy DeGrasso counted out 4, and we were off and running. So It sounded scary right before we were going to do it, but once we were into it, it was a breeze. You know, it was a lot easier than we thought it was going to be.
Okay, so we were talking about the new record, and it's obviously been received very well. And is there any talk about building on a success for a follow up to that? Is writing new material and
we're already writing.
Okay, carry on.
And kind of one of the deals was we actually there's 12 songs on the album.
Okay.
But in fact we had written 18 songs.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to on this next album, which we will start recording in October. If we want to, and if the songs are good enough, we'll revisit those 6. There's always a reason why you don't do those certain songs. Either the arrangement wasn't right, or maybe Ricky wasn't too down with the lyrics, or a chorus wasn't right, or there's always something, right? So we might revisit those 6, but everybody's already writing for the next album. We've already got a ton of ideas. So it's kind of the cool thing about this band is there's so many writers in this thing that material doesn't seem to be a problem. I think what we'll probably do on this next one is probably up the production quite a bit, and we are
take a little bit more time.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
Yeah,
We're going to take a lot more time in the studio this time.
Not
This
be
12-day thing is kind of done.
Right. I actually read a little bit about you guys possibly working with Joe Elliott, actually, because you were just talking about
There's a
him.
possibility. Yeah, we're talking with Joe. I know Joe really wants to do it, but when you work with somebody who's with another band, obviously that's his day job, and if he's got tours coming up or albums or whatever, then we'll have to move on to somebody else. But we've known Joe for, like I say, decades and decades. We know what kind of work that he can produce. So if that happens, it'll be great. But if not, then we'll get somebody else in. Hopefully as comparable.
I'm sure nobody, not a shortage who's going to want to work with you guys. So I think you guys will have the pick of the litter.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. Last year, a busy time actually around this time last year, you also released a book, Thin Lizzy, The Boys Are Back in Town. Looking back a year now, because obviously when you come out with something right away, you're in the moment, everything's good. But looking back, like I said, a year ago, is there anything that you would have changed, maybe taken something out, or maybe said, what, I wish I'd have put this in?
Actually, no. Yeah, there's a lot more stories that I would have put in. The journalist who wrote this with me, Harry Docker, he's just recently died.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I've known Harry for 40 years, and he was actually a great guy to do the book with.
Right.
I mean, he knew everything there was to know about Thin Lizzy. So he knew all the dates and bands that we were on stage with, and bada bing, bada boom. And I was surprised at his ironclad memory. Right? So he brought a lot out of in me, But as you go along and you're talking, you're telling stories on the bus and all that, you're always going to say, damn, I wish I would have put that in.
Oh, I remember. Oh, yeah, that's right.
That
did happen.
There's always those really great stories that in the moment you've forgotten it, and then a couple of months later, there it is.
Yeah.
So maybe
part 2, maybe.
There you go.
Okay.
Part 2, we'll get those in there.
What did the families of, and obviously the surviving members of the band think Thin Lizzy? Did they have, like, Phil's family say anything to you, positive, negative, or the other guys of the book, the first book? Did they have anything to say?
No, they loved it because what I've been saying in the book. There's a lot of information that a lot of people never knew about. Thin Lizzy. So no, they actually enjoyed the book. Well, I don't know what else to say about that. They condoned it. So
okay, good. Just a lot of times when
are we going to go to court or something?
Right, a lot of times when a book comes out, it's just like, why did you say this? I thought
I try not to put things in the book that would belittle anybody or put anybody in a bad light. So I don't. I haven't really met too many people really in this business where I would want to do that anyway. They're all good people, so
right.
I've really found no reason to go down that path.
when people come out to see a Black Star Riders show, what can they expect?
Well, we play probably 3/4 of All Hell Breaks Loose.
Okay.
And really, quite honestly, because we've only got the one album, we need to put more songs in there.
Right.
And, to be quite honest, again, people know where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
They know essentially it's most of the guys from Thin Lizzy. And I think people, when they buy the ticket, they expect to hear a few Thin Lizzy songs. Mm-hmm. So really, it's about 50-50, 50% Black Star Riders and 50% Thin Lizzy.
And moving forward too, what's the status of Thin Lizzy? Are you just keeping that on the back burner to do dates when you feel, you can fill a couple shows here and there, or is that kind of permanently shelved?
No, absolutely not permanently shelved. No, we're already trying to slot some special Thin Lizzy shows for next year.
Okay.
So management and agencies, but they're already working on that. So it's definitely not on the back shelf or dead at all. We enjoy playing the songs, and with the Black Star Rider set, you obviously you can only play so many because the Lizzy catalog is pretty deep.
Right.
So we try to pick right now the songs that complement what's going on with Black Star Riders, not necessarily probably the most popular Thin Lizzy song. So it's you'll see when you come down and see the set, you'll see what I'm talking about, how they all kind of mesh together really nicely.
And for the fans out there that want to check you guys out going forward, I'm not sure what the tour dates are after today in Buffalo. You might want to tell where they can check out Black Star Riders. Obviously the website, but where do you guys got? I mean, any tours lined up, festivals?
Well, from here, from the we've got the whole East Coast of America to do. Like we're going to Pittsburgh tomorrow. After the East Coast, we fly back to. We fly home, and we've got 2 weeks off, and then we all meet again in Europe, and we've got several festivals that we're doing in Europe. Okay. So that'll take up a couple of months.
Take it probably much to the end of the year, where then maybe
it'll take us up to the album.
Yeah, I was gonna say then working on the new album.
Exactly.
Right after that. Okay, so maybe 2015 will be the release of the next Black Star Riders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
And check out Black Star Riders when they come to your town. You might want to go to the website, blackstarriders.com, I'm hoping. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I'm not sure either.
That's terrible. I don't even know my own. Okay, right.
But
if you just put Black Star Riders in, it's got to come up. Come on.
Check that out. Check out the sites. Check out the new record. Obviously, it's not new. It's been out for a year. It's a great record, and I'm sure they're going to build upon that when they're writing the next one. And we definitely appreciate Scott for taking the time from Black Star Riders and Thin Lizzy.
Thank you.
For taking us the time to talk to us at BackstageAxxess.com. Check it out.
Don't you dare trash house.